can run after CCNA, CCNP, CCSP, you can do all that stuff, right? Or you can do the CISSP. See, I haven't done the Cisco certifications, right? I did my CCNA long back, but that's it. Right? I didn't go after CCNP. Yeah, sure, you can update yourself, you can do it, but I know the fundamentals of what is required to talk about switches, right? I know how switches work, right? I can read about it. Do I want to do a Cisco certification? Sure, you can do it. No harm in that, right? Go ahead and do it, right? I like studying. I like writing exams. It's a challenge. It's a hobby, right? So sure, go ahead and do it, right? If you have the time, right? But if you're looking for paybacks, right? Then the quicker payback may come, I think, with a CISSP or a CISO.
You say CISA, is that a process certification?
It's more processing
stuff. Auditing?
For IT auditing, yes.
Okay.
CISA is more process oriented. So, see, if you come from a technology background, right? So, if you come from a technology background, I'm assuming everybody here is from a technology, then CISSP is more up your alley, right? Let me put it that way. If you are coming from, let's say, a commerce background, a financial background, right? If you're coming from that side and you don't have too much exposure to technology, to IT in general, then CISA may be the direction. But see, you have a gentleman here, right, who has come from an IT background, but who wants to now look at CISA because of his specific areas, right? Now you would be the best judge of what makes sense to you, what needs to be added to your resume, right? You would be the best judge. I can't tell you that, right? Sure, if we can, we have a detailed discussion, then I can understand. Okay, okay, these are the areas, these are your strengths. Okay, then what makes sense? The CISA, CISSP, which way do you want to go, right? So but again, I came from an IT background, but I did my CISA first, just like him. Right? That's because I was in an auditing company. Right? I happened to be in an auditing company, therefore I did my CISA first. But 6 months later I did my CISSP anyways. Right? So it's up to you, right? So you decide. Right? See, these are some of the resumes. We are actually hiring, my company is actually hiring, we are looking for a couple of security analysts, senior security analysts. These are some of the resumes that I have, right? Of course, I have blanked out the names and all that stuff. But you look at the certifications, right? See this? Right, of course, he's done a bunch of other stuff, right? This guy, right? He's very senior. It's again CCNA, CCSP, CIRIS, right? There's another guy here, but you can't see him, but he's got a CISSP there too. This is one guy who's got a CISSP. So these are resumes, right? These are actual resumes. I'm not fibbing, I'm not, these are resumes that I actually have. I have interviews with some of these guys, right? So I just want to show you what is out there in the market, right? And ultimately if you're angling for these positions, you are competing with these guys, right? Right? How many are there in maybe Toronto? So, well, we have done only one interview so far, right? I have interview starting, like another interview on Monday, so we'll go on, right?
Just notice they have a lot of experience in information security already.
See,
10 years, the other one 15 years.
See, that completely may not be in security, right? That's all IT. There's a lot of IT. I can't show you their entire resumes, but you will see that 10, 15 years. See, I haven't spent 10 years of my career completely in information security. No, right? It's more like 6, 7 years, right? So started, I spent a couple of 3, 4 years in development, right? And then went into security, right? So even these guys are like that, right? These folks are like that. So everybody, ultimately. Show me one guy who's actually started off with security. There are very few in the market who actually started off their career in IT purely in security, right? Then they have to be, they have to be kids, like today's kids, right? 10-year-olds who are hacking away. Those guys, yes, I agree, right? But see, because when we went to college and when we went to university at that time, IT, the spread was just starting, right? I came from India, right? So, I remember 15 years back, it was just starting. Right, and it was, fine, development was the big thing. Security, who cared about it? It was an afterthought, right? Ankit would agree with me, right? So it was like that, right? And I'm sure it was like that, right? So, you would have to have, 10, 15-year-old kids today who are hacking away, who have all the tools, who know everything, right? Those guys, yes. But you know what? Companies may not necessarily hire them, right? Why? Because you can hire them as testers, as security testers, penetration testers. Agree? But they don't have the visibility, the entire idea of overall architecture. Right? See, he comes from application development or application support areas. Right? He has a broad overview. He has an idea of information systems supporting business. Right? That's an architectural view. Right? He brings more to the table than just the skills, the ability to use some hacking tools. Right? Right? It's about countermeasures also, right? So this is a broad area, right? So you can't just say that because somebody has been in that area, he's good enough. But having said that, when I started my career with this, in security, I had a guy who was 17 years old. He was at 15 he had done his CISSP, right? He started his career in security, and at 15 he had passed his CISSP. It was back in India, right? So yeah. He was in that area he was a genius, yes. But there was only one of him, right? Alright, so what is the CISSP? Right? It's governed by not-for-profit International Information Systems Security Certification Consortium, whatever, right? We just call it ISC, that's it, right? It is the first information security certification approved by ANSI, the American National Standards Institute, and ISO. It's approved by the US Department of Defense, right? These credentials, you have to look at, when you look at all these different certifications that are out there, how many of them are actually have that backing from different government organizations? CISA is one of them. ISACA has a lot of backing from a lot of different areas, right? There are more than 60,000 professionals across, worldwide for CISSP, right? So how do you get through the CISSP? How do you get a CISSP certification? It's pretty simple, right? You study first, right? There are 10 domains of the common body of knowledge, which we'll get into some detail. You schedule an exam. It's a paper-based test, right? You can't come here, walk into the Prometric or Pearson VUE and give the exam. No, there are some specific dates on which it is set up, and you have to come in, and it's a paper-based test. The test, this is the longest test that I have given in my life, right? 6 hours, right? 250 questions, 6 hours, and you have to get 70% to pass. Straight.
There's no break.
Pardon me?
No break during the
See, man, I smoke, right? You think I can sit for 6 hours without smoking? So that's my case.
There are essay-based part in the exams.
Essay?
Yeah.
No, there is no, the exam is multiple choice, right? So you have 250 questions, you have 4 choice per question, there's no negative marking, there's only one correct answer. That's very simple, right? Actually, you can eliminate, if you're good at logical thinking, you can eliminate, even if you don't know information security, right? Well, that's kind of simplifying it, right? So that's kind of simplifying it, right? I would say you need to know information security, you need to read the 10 domains of the CBK, you need to do all that. But even if you don't understand the question, right? Because some of these questions could be very technical, right? Just like the CISA, right? The CISA is bad because it has negative marking too, right? Along with it. So you would have to, you can at least eliminate 1 out of 4, right? Otherwise I wouldn't have passed, right? Putting it very simply, right? So many questions are like that, right? You don't get head and tails of what they're asking, right? There might be network diagrams in front of you. How are you supposed to understand this? 6 hours you're sitting there, you're tired, right? You just want to go home and sleep, and it's pointless, right? You think, what the heck, I'll come back again, right? But then you think, no, I'm here, let me complete it, let me have a smoke break, come back again, try again, right? So that's how I did it. So you can at least out of 4, my experience is, actually in any of these exams, you take even the GMAT or whatever exams you want to take, right? All these competitive exams with multiple choice, you can eliminate 1 or 2 at least, for sure, right? You can do that. So similarly, you can apply all these different strategies. Of course, you need to know what you're thinking about. That means you need to have studied this, right? And as IT professionals, it shouldn't be that much of an issue, right? Some areas may be new to you, like application support, SDLC is one of the domains when we come to that, right? Those areas you can, you already know about, right? Software testing, you already know, it's part of SDLC, you already know it. It's not that difficult. There may be other domains from a systems perspective that you may need to know about, but otherwise, other things you can manage. Right, so you do that, and then you pass, you get 70%, you're done, you get more than 70, you're great. Certification, next step, right? Once the exam gets over, professional experience. Now you have to apply, there is a form, right? You have to go to iscsquare.org, download the form, it's a 3 or 4 page form, that's it, right? You have to fill it up, but when you fill it up, they'll ask you, do you have 5 years of experience